Just 38 years young, but he's still fighting Juan Manuel Marquez, taking on Sergey Fedchenko Saturday night on a monstrous card that includes Brandon Rios and Richard Abril. We bring in Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of boxing.com. Robert, what's up? How are you?
I'm good, and how are you, Rick?
I'm doing good. Let's talk about this fight a little bit. It's for the vacant interim junior welterweight belt at Mexico City Arena in Mexico City. You know, you had a problem with the Rios fight being pay-per-view televised, and you know what? This is also on that card. Marquez against Sergey Fedchenko. Let me ask you this. Is Marquez a big enough name to just be put on pay-per-view cards even when he is fighting simply a no-name?
Well, given the nature of this card, which again is Rios versus Abril rather than Rios versus Gamboa, I mean, this whole pay-per-view card is sort of really questionable, at least insofar as pay-per-view is concerned. Fedchenko is not a big name. Marquez is as big a name as there is, especially in Mexico, being a lock for the Hall of Fame, a fabulous fighter. He no sooner wanted to fight Sergey Fedchenko than he wanted to fight Richard Abril. He would like to fight Pacquiao, but that fight was not happening. So they gave him a fairly easy opponent. The fight will be in Mexico. Marquez hasn't fought in Mexico for years, and it will be a chance for him to sort of strut his stuff before his countrymen. And I give thumbs up to that.
A three-division champion and 38 years old is Juan Manuel Marquez at 53, 6-1 with 39 knockouts. As you said, he did lose to Manny Pacquiao last November. His record against Pacquiao, controversially, is 0-2-1. He wanted a rematch. He did not get it. Instead, Pacquiao is fighting Timothy Bradley Jr. June 9th, and he considered retirement. Why exactly did Marquez change his mind and come back to the sport of boxing?
I think primarily because he wants to fight Pacquiao another time. He feels as though he has something to prove, which is that he is, if not the better fighter, certainly as good a fighter. The record is, as you pointed out, 0-2-1. Both of those victories are questionable, the last one especially, which I had a draw. I had Pacquiao coming from behind to sort of, even it up. But a lot of people, and I think the majority of people, thought that Marquez won it. So I think Marquez came back specifically because he hopes that he's going to be able to fight Manny Pacquiao in the next fight.
And Bob Arum said that, you know what, they could have a rematch again, but they decided to not have it be Pacquiao's very next fight. And in my opinion, I know that we differ with this, I truly believe, after watching the fight a few times, that Marquez did win. I truly, truly believe that he won. But he is fighting Sergey Fedchenko, the man from Ukraine, 30-1, 13 knockouts, 5'6", 31 years old. What do you know about this guy, Robert?
Not a lot. He has one name fighter on his ledger, which is Kaiser Mabuza, who is a South African fighter, good fighter. He's the fighter that Zab Judo won his last title against. Not a world beater, not a Manny Pacquiao, perhaps more like a Licar Ramos, but it is who Marquez is fighting. And Marquez is a great talent. And I know that the people in Mexico are going to be thrilled to see him in the ring. And whether the folks here in the U.S. on pay-per-view feel the same fighting this particular opponent remains to be seen.
I wanted to ask you about that. He hasn't fought in Mexico City since 1994, his second year as a professional, in which he has been a pro for a very long time. How into the fight do you think the crowd will be just seeing him in his hometown for what seems like they have not seen him there in forever?
The crowd is going to go berserk. I mean, he has inherited the mantle of the great Julio Cesar Chavez. He is the greatest Mexican fighter alive, and there have been, as you know, scores of great Mexican fighters. I mean, you got Marco Antonio Barrera, you've got
Eric Morales.
The list goes. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And we can go back for years. Salvador Sanchez, amazing fighters. And he is in that tradition. He's an incredible fighter, and he's a smart fighter. It's really a pleasure to watch him work because he is, he's not just a slugger. He's not just sort of barreling in. It's not just he's the bull and his opponent is the matador. He's smart. And anybody who really appreciates boxing appreciates Marquez.
Amen to that, brother. Let me ask you this. I mean, I understand that I'm putting you on the spot here, but you gave me about 4 different names. Where do you think Marquez ranks on that top list of the best and or greatest Mexican fighters of all time?
You have to, I think, put him perhaps third. I mean, Chavez would probably be first by virtue of his incredible record. And again, a very different type of fighter, a real crowd pleaser, whereas Marquez is perhaps more for the connoisseur. But I would certainly rank him, if not third or perhaps second. He is really a great fighter, and there's no question that he is the greatest Mexican fighter alive.
Who's he flirting with at number 2? You said Chavez is number 1. Did you say who was number 2, or did I not catch it?
No, I didn't say. I look at Salvador Sanchez. I mean, his career was cut short, as you know, with an untimely death. Mm-hmm. But he was an amazing fighter, just extraordinary. And there's no telling what he might have done had he lived a long and full and normal, active, fistic life. That was not the case, but he was an incredible fighter. And again, I mean, Mexico just produces great fighters. I mean, there's something in the DNA of the Mexicans. I mean, they are tough, and Marquez was carrying on that tradition.
Getting back to it, Marquez believes that he can get another rematch with the pound-for-pound great that is Manny Pacquiao. As we said, Pacquiao will be fighting Timothy Bradley. If they both win, which do you think is more likely to happen? Marquez fighting Pacquiao or Marquez fighting Rios, Brandon Rios?
I would say Pacquiao. I think if Marquez had his druthers, he would rather fight Manny Pacquiao. He feels as though he has unfinished business with Pacquiao, and I think a lot of people feel as though he has unfinished business. Pacquiao's got a tough opponent in front of him. Bradley is no pushover, that's for sure. And Bradley's coming up in weight, but Bradley he's a tough guy. He is strong, and he's a good fighter. So Pacquiao has his hands full, certainly more full than Marquez has. And I think if Marquez had his druthers, he would rather fight Pacquiao.
Let me ask you this, and I mean, we're jumping to conclusions. This is all if he wins, which we both believe. I think I speak for the both of us saying that he will win. But what is your prediction on this fight? I mean, do you think it's a Licar Ramos once again, or he knocks him out in the first round, or do you think that Fedchenko could, being the heavy underdog he is, give Marquez a run for his money?
It seems unlikely. He is a heavy underdog because he deserves to be a heavy underdog. I don't think it's going to be a one-round blowout. I think Fedchenko is going to come in. He's going to be more competitive. He's tougher. He himself probably has more to prove. He's not going to be in awe of a fellow Mexican the way Licar Ramos was. But in the end, there's no question whose hand is going to be raised in victory, and it's going to be Juan Manuel Marquez.
With Brandon Rios being on the card, obviously he has been asked many times about Juan Manuel Marquez, and here's what he had to say. Marquez and I have a lot of options in 2012 and a lot of opportunities. I think this could be a career year for either of us. One of us could end up as the fighter of the year. Agree or disagree, Robert?
Oh, it's possible. I mean, but talk is talk. I mean, it seems as though Rios has got to decide what's happening with his career, and his brain trust has to decide what's happening with his career. As you know, he failed to make weight again, a second time in 2 fights earlier today, Friday. And he can't fight a lightweight anymore. He's got to move up in weight. But there is something amiss with Team Rios, whether it's the inability to make weight, the inability to sort of make a decisive decision and have him move up to another division. I don't know that. I think they've got to get something straight with Rios, and I don't know exactly what it is. Rios is one of the bright lights of boxing. I mean, he is really one of boxing's great future superstars, and everybody loves watching Rios fight. But he has to get his team straight, or his team has to get their head straight before we start talking about fights against Marquez and or fights of the year.
I think you may have mentioned it when you think, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's that, firstly, him and his team made fun of Freddie Roach for having Parkinson's, which they claim they didn't know. It could be because he does not speak well. I mean, he speaks fine, but when he gets into it, he really gets into it. Watch the Abril presser when he really got into it. I mean, he swears like none other. His language is filthy.
Hey, fuck you, come on, motherfucker. You ain't shit, motherfucker. You ain't shit. Fight with me, bro. Get the fuck out of here. I'll fuck you up like I fuck before. You fuck.
Or could it possibly be that he simply doesn't, I'm not going to say that he doesn't care, but that he hasn't made weight in 2 consecutive fights? Would you say that could be your thinking as well?
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly. I mean, I think he's fighting under his natural weight. I don't know why they're clinging to this lightweight option. He has proven his bones at lightweight, has lost the title at lightweight on the scales. Once again, he has lost his ability to win the title Saturday night on the scales. It's clear that he is not a lightweight, and whether it's because of bad habits or whether it's because he's simply outgrown the division, somebody has to act decisively and clear that up so he can get on with his career.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Either way, Robert Exel, always on top of it, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. Thank you so much for the time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rick.